I should have let the phone ring, but I never could say no to her. I answered, and every lie I'd told myself about being over her shattered. "Tyree?" Her voice broke on my name. I closed my eyes. That voice, the one I'd heard every morning for 2 years, the one that used to whisper "I love you" against my neck, the one that had promised forever, the one that left me standing alone. "Minseo." It came out flat, empty. She was crying. I could hear it in the way her breath hitched, in the silence between words. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. "God, Tyree, I'm so sorry." My throat tightened. I wanted to hang up, wanted to throw the phone across the room, wanted to scream at her until my voice gave out. But I didn't, because part of me, the part that still remembered what it felt like to love her, needed to hear this. "Why didn't you come?" My voice cracked. I hated that it did. "I wanted to," she said quickly. "I swear I wanted to, but She stopped. Her breath shuddered. "You what?" "I panicked." Another sob. "I got scared. I thought about spending the rest of my life with someone, and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. And then—" She trailed off again. I opened my eyes, looked across the room. Jeha was still standing by the window. She hadn't moved, hadn't said a word, just watched me with that same unreadable expression that made my chest ache. "And then what?" I asked. Minseo was quiet for a long moment. "Someone came to see me," she said finally. "The night before the wedding." My stomach dropped. "Who?" "I don't know. I didn't know them. They just showed up at my apartment. Said they had information about you. About us." I pressed my hand against my chest, tried to slow my racing heart. "What kind of information?" "They said you deserved better than me." Her voice was barely audible now. "They said I was going to ruin your life, that I wasn't good enough, that you'd be happier without me." "And you believed them?" "No, She let out a broken laugh. "I don't know. They offered me money, Terry. A lot of money. Enough to pay off my loans. Enough to start over somewhere else." The words came like a punch to the gut. "You took it." It wasn't a question. She didn't answer right away. But the silence told me everything. "I'm weak," she whispered. "I know I am. I've always been weak. And when they put that check in front of me and told me I was doing you a favor by leaving, You took it," I said again, louder this time. Yes." The word hung in the air between us. I turned away from Jeha, pressed my forehead against the cool glass of the window, watched the rain blur the city lights into nothing. Someone paid her. Someone paid her to leave me. "Who was it?" I asked. "Who gave you the money?" "I don't know." "Minseo, I'm telling the truth," she said desperately. "They didn't give me a name, just said they were acting on behalf of someone who cared about you, someone who wanted to make sure you didn't make a mistake." My hand curled into a fist against the glass. "This is insane." "I know." "You let someone pay you to humiliate me." "I know." Her voice broke completely. "And I hate myself for it. I've been hating myself since the second I sent that text. But I was scared, Terry. I was scared of disappointing you, of not being enough. And when they told me I wasn't, it just confirmed everything I already believed." I closed my eyes. Part of me wanted to forgive her, wanted to tell her it was okay, that we could fix this. But it wasn't okay. And I didn't know if we could fix anything. "I need to see you," she said. "Please. Let me explain everything in person. Let me tell you what they said, what they offered. Maybe if we piece it together, we can figure out who did this." I should have said no, should have told her it was too late, that I didn't care who paid her or why, that she made her choice and now I was making mine, but I didn't. Because I needed to know, needed to understand who would do this to me, needed to look her in the eye and decide if any part of what we had was real. "Tomorrow," I said quietly. "Morning. The cafe near the park." "Thank you." Relief flooded her voice. "Thank you, Terry. I promise I'll explain everything. I'll make this right. Don't," I interrupted. Don't make promises you can't keep. She went quiet. I'll see you tomorrow. I hung up before she could say anything else. The phone slipped from my hand. I caught it before it hit the floor, stood there, staring at the black screen, trying to process what I'd just heard. Someone paid her. Someone orchestrated my humiliation. Someone wanted me alone. I turned around. Jeha was watching me. Her expression hadn't changed, still calm, still controlled. But there was something in her eyes, something I couldn't read. Someone paid her to leave me, I said. My voice shook. Jeha's jaw tightened. She didn't look surprised. When are you meeting her? She asked quietly. Tomorrow morning. She nodded once, slow, deliberate. Then she stepped away from the window, walked toward me, stopped a few feet away. Then I'm coming with you. It wasn't a question, wasn't a request, just a statement, final, absolute. I stared at her, at the woman who'd claimed me in front of everyone, who'd brought me here, who was looking at me now like I was something precious she refused to lose. Why? Her gaze didn't waver. Because whoever paid her might try again. The words settled in my chest like stones. You think someone's trying to control me? I think someone wants something from you, she said carefully, and I'm not going to let them take it. I should have asked what she meant, should have demanded answers, should have pushed back against the way she kept inserting herself into my life without asking. But I was tired and scared, and the thought of facing Minseo alone made my stomach twist. Okay, I whispered. Something flickered in her eyes, relief, satisfaction, I couldn't tell. She reached out. Her fingers brushed against mine, just once, just enough to ground me. Get some sleep, she said softly. Tomorrow's going to be hard. I nodded. She stepped back, gave me space, and I walked past her, down the hallway, into the guest room. I closed the door behind me, leaned against it, and tried not to think about the way Jeha's expression hadn't changed when I told her someone paid Minseo. Like she already knew. I didn't sleep. I lay in the guest bed staring at the ceiling, watching shadows shift across the walls, and tried to make sense of what Minseo had told me. Someone paid her. Someone wanted me alone. By the time morning light crept through the curtains, I still had no answers. Just questions that twisted tighter around my ribs with every breath. I got up, showered, changed back into the borrowed clothes because I had nothing else. When I stepped out into the hallway, Jeha was already there, dressed, waiting, 2 cups of coffee on the counter. She didn't ask if I was okay, just handed me one and said, "We should go." The drive to the cafe was silent. Rain had stopped overnight, leaving the streets slick and gray. I watched the city pass by, my hands wrapped around the coffee cup, trying to warm the cold spreading through my chest. Jeha didn't speak, didn't look at me. Just drove with the same quiet control she did everything else. When we pulled up to the cafe, I saw Minseo through the window. She was already inside, sitting at a corner table, hands wrapped around a mug, head down. My stomach twisted. "You don't have to do this," Jeha said quietly. I turned to look at her. Her expression was unreadable, but there was something in her eyes, something that looked almost like concern. "Yes, I do." She nodded once. "I'll wait here." I blinked. "You're not coming in?" "You need to do this alone." Her voice was soft, final. "I'll be right here if you need me." I stared at her for a moment, then I got out of the car. The cafe was small, cozy, the kind of place Minseo and I used to come to on Sunday mornings. The familiarity of it made my throat tight. Minseo looked up when the door chimed. Her eyes found mine, red, swollen. She'd been crying. Something in my chest cracked. I walked over, sat down across from her. "Thank you for coming," she whispered. I didn't respond, just waited. She took a shaky breath. "I meant what I said on the phone. I'm sorry, Terry. I'm so sorry." "Tell me what happened." She nodded, looked down at her hands. "The night before the wedding, someone came to my apartment. A woman. She was professional. Cold. dressed in expensive clothes like she had money to burn. My pulse quickened. What did she look like? Tall, elegant. She had this presence, like she was used to people doing exactly what she said. Dark hair pulled back perfectly. She didn't smile once, just stared at me like I was something she needed to remove. My stomach dropped. What did she say? That you deserved someone who could give you stability, security, someone who wasn't drowning in debt and barely keeping their head above water. Minseo's voice broke. She knew everything about me, Terry. My student loans, my jobs. Things I never told anyone. I gripped the edge of the table. What else? She talked about you. Minseo looked up at me. She knew things, personal things, like how you bring rice cakes to your students every Friday. How you drink your coffee black because your Halmione said sugar was for weak stomachs. How you tie your hair back when you're grading papers. The words slammed into me. Those were things Jaeha had said. Exact details. Things only someone who'd been watching would know. She offered me money, Minseo continued. A lot of it. Enough to clear everything and start over. And she said if I really loved you, I'd let you go. That staying with me would only hold you back from the life you deserved. My hands started shaking. Did she say who she was? No. Just that she cared about you. That she wanted to protect you from making a mistake. I couldn't breathe. Tall, elegant, dark hair pulled back, used to giving orders. Someone who knew everything about me. Someone who'd been watching me for months. My heart hammered against my ribs. Tairi? Minseo reached across the table. Please, I know I don't deserve it, but give me another chance. I'll return the money. I'll do whatever it takes. I love you. I never stopped. I pulled my hand back, stood up. I need to go. Wait. But I was already moving. Toward the door, out into the cold air. Jaeha was leaning against the car, arms crossed, watching the cafe entrance like she'd been waiting for me to run. She straightened when she saw my face. Tairi, the woman who went to Minseo's apartment, I said, my voice shaking. Tall, elegant, dark hair, knew everything about me, about my students, my coffee, my grandmother. Her expression didn't change, but her jaw tightened. That was you, I whispered. She didn't deny it, didn't look away, just stood there, silent. Did you pay her? I asked. Did you pay Minseo to leave me at the altar? The silence stretched between us, heavy, suffocating. Then quietly she said it. Yes. The word broke something in me. I took a step back. Then another. You orchestrated my humiliation. I orchestrated your freedom. Her voice was calm. Too calm. Freedom? I laughed. It came out broken, bitter. You manipulated my entire life. You paid off my fiancé. You made sure I'd be alone and vulnerable so you could swoop in and claim me like I was some kind of prize. That's not... Then what? My voice rose. What was it? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you decided I was yours before I ever had a choice, before I even knew you existed. Her hands curled into fists. She wasn't right for you. That wasn't your decision to make. You would have married her. Her voice cracked, just barely. You would have spent the rest of your life with someone who didn't deserve you, who would have taken and taken until there was nothing left. So you took the choice away from me instead. She stepped forward. I stepped back. Don't, I whispered. She stopped. The space between us felt like a chasm. I thought I was saving you, she said quietly. You were saving yourself. My voice broke. From losing someone again, from watching someone else slip away. But I'm not her, Jaeha. I'm not Yura. And you can't fix what happened to her by controlling what happens to me. Her face crumpled. Just for a second. Then she pulled it back together. I know. Do you? She didn't answer. I turned away, pressed my hands against my face. Tried to breathe through the ache in my chest. Take me back to the penthouse, I said. I need to get my things. Terry, please. The word came out broken. She was quiet for a long moment. Then she opened the car door, and we drove back in silence. The silence in the car was louder than any scream. I stared out the window, watched the city blur past, tried to breathe through the tightness in my chest. Jeha's hands gripped the steering wheel, white-knuckled, tense. Neither of us spoke. What was there to say? She'd orchestrated everything, my humiliation, my heartbreak, my rescue, all of it. By the time we pulled up to the penthouse, I felt hollowed out, empty. I got out of the car without waiting, walked straight to the elevator, hit the button for the top floor. Jeha followed. The ride up was silent. When the doors opened, I went straight to the guest room, started gathering my things, the borrowed clothes, my phone. The ruined wedding dress still crumpled on the bathroom floor. I couldn't look at it. Left it there. "Tyree!" Her voice came from the doorway. I didn't turn around. Please, let me explain." "There's nothing to explain," I said quietly. "You paid her. You admitted it. I watched her treat you like an afterthought for months." I froze. I saw the way she canceled on you, the way she made you feel small, like you were asking for too much when all you wanted was to be seen. I turned around slowly. Jeha was standing in the doorway, her expression raw, desperate. "That doesn't give you the right to control my life." "I know." "Then why did you do it?" She stepped into the room, stopped a few feet away. "Because I couldn't watch you marry someone who didn't deserve you." "That wasn't your decision to make." "I know." Her voice cracked. "But I made it anyway. Because the thought of you standing at that altar, promising forever to someone who would break you slowly, was unbearable." I shook my head. You don't get to decide what breaks me." "You're right." She took another step. "But I did, and I'd do it again." The honesty of it hit me like a slap. "You're unbelievable." "I'm honest." Her gaze locked onto mine. "I won't lie to you, Terry. Not now. Not ever. What I did was wrong, but I don't regret it. Because it brought you here. To me." My hands curled into fists. "Is that what this is? Some twisted fate you orchestrated so you could have a second chance with a dead woman?" Her face crumpled. "No." "Then what?" "It started that way," she admitted. "When I saw you at the fundraiser, all I could see was her. The way you smiled, the way you moved. It was like she'd come back." My chest tightened. "But then I started watching you, really watching. And you weren't her. You were kind in ways she never was. Patient. You gave everything to those kids. You loved so openly it terrified me." "So you fell in love with me instead?" I laughed bitterly. "Or did you just fall in love with the idea of saving someone this time?" She flinched. "I don't know." The admission hung between us. "At least you're honest," I whispered. "I'm trying to be." She stepped closer. "Because you deserve that. You deserve someone who sees you, not a ghost, not a replacement, you." "Can you do that?" I asked. "Can you look at me and not see her?" She was quiet for a long moment. "I'm trying." "That's not good enough." "I know." I turned away, zipped up the small bag I'd packed, the one that held almost nothing because I'd come here with almost nothing. "I need to leave." "Where will you go?" "I don't know." My voice broke. "But I can't stay here. I can't be around you right now. Terry, you manipulated my entire life." I spun around. "You paid off my fiancé. You orchestrated my heartbreak so you could swoop in and claim me. How am I supposed to trust you? How am I supposed to believe anything you say is real?" "Because it is." Her voice rose. "What I feel for you is real, messy and wrong and tangled up in grief, but real. I can't." Tears blurred my vision. "I can't be with someone who controlled me before I even knew they existed. I can't build a life on a foundation of lies." Her jaw tightened. "Then don't." The words were quiet, final. She reached into her pocket, pulled out a card, set it on the dresser. "My number, my address, everything." She stepped back. "The choice is yours now. No manipulation, no control. If you want to walk away and never see me again, I'll respect that. If you want answers, I'll give them to you. If you want me to prove I can love you without controlling you, I'll spend the rest of my life trying. I stared at the card. But I won't chase you, she continued. I won't show up at your apartment or your school or anywhere else. You get to decide what happens next, not me. My throat burned. What if I choose to leave and never come back? Her expression flickered. Pain, loss. Then I'll live with that. I picked up my bag, walked past her. She didn't follow, didn't say another word. I took the elevator down, walked out into the street. The cold air hit my face, and I realized I had nowhere to go. No home, no fiancé, no plan. Just me and a bag of borrowed clothes and a heart that felt like it had been ripped apart and stitched back together wrong. I started walking. I didn't know where I was going. Just needed to move, to breathe, to think. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out. A text. From Minseo. I need to see you again. There's something else you need to know about the woman who paid me. She's dangerous. My blood went cold. I stopped walking, stared at the screen. Dangerous. The word echoed in my head. I glanced back at the building, at the penthouse high above, at the woman I'd just walked away from, and I realized I didn't know her at all. Not really. I didn't know what she was capable of, what she'd done before me, what she might do next. My hands shook as I typed back. Where? The response came immediately. Same cafe. 1 hour. Come alone. I looked up at the penthouse one more time. Then I turned and walked toward the cafe, toward answers, toward the truth I wasn't sure I wanted to hear. I shouldn't have come back, but I needed answers, and Minseo said she had them. The cafe was quieter this time. Afternoon light filtered through the windows. Minseo was already there, same corner table, but this time she looked different, nervous. Her eyes kept darting to the window like she was watching for someone. I sat down across from her. What did you find out? She pulled out her phone, slid it across the table. I couldn't stop thinking about what happened, about the woman who paid me, so I did some digging. I looked down at the screen. A news article, 3 years old, local woman dies in penthouse fire, investigation ongoing. My stomach dropped. Her name was Yura, Minseo said quietly. She was Jaeha's fiancé. She died in a fire at Jaeha's penthouse. I stared at the photo, at the woman who looked so much like me. Jaeha told me that, I whispered. She said Yura died in a fire. Did she tell you the rest? I looked up. What rest? Minseo leaned forward. Her voice dropped. The fire was ruled suspicious. Police investigated Jaeha for months. They'd been fighting that night. Neighbors heard shouting. Yura was trying to leave. And then the fire started. My hands went cold. They couldn't prove anything, Minseo continued. No evidence of arson, no witnesses. Just Jaeha's word that it was an accident. That she tried to save her but couldn't. I shook my head. You think Jaeha killed her. I think Jaeha couldn't let her go. Minseo's eyes locked onto mine. And when Yura tried to leave anyway, something happened. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe it wasn't. But Yura died, and Jaeha survived. And she's been living with the guilt ever since. My chest tightened. That's why she's obsessed with you, Minseo said. You look like Yura. You're her second chance. Her way to rewrite what happened. To save someone this time instead of losing them. I couldn't breathe. She orchestrated your humiliation, Terry. She paid me to leave you. She made sure you'd be alone and broken so she could swoop in and be your hero. That's not love. That's control. Stop. She's dangerous. Stop. But Minseo grabbed my hand across the table. I'm trying to protect you. If she couldn't let Yura go, what makes you think she'll let you go? I pulled my hand back, pressed it against my chest, tried to slow my racing heart. It couldn't be true. Jaeha was controlling, manipulative. But a murderer? I thought about the way she'd looked at me, the way her hands had trembled when she touched me, the guilt in her eyes when she admitted what she'd done. Was it guilt for paying off Minseo, or guilt for something worse? Tairi! Minseo's voice was urgent now. I looked up. She was staring past me, at the window. We need to go. What? Now? I turned. A black SUV had pulled up across the street. 2 men in dark suits were getting out. They weren't looking at the cafe. They were looking right at us. My blood went cold. Come on. Minseo grabbed my hand, pulled me up. We moved toward the back of the cafe, through the kitchen, out the back door into an alley. My heart hammered in my chest. Who are they? I gasped. I don't know, but we can't stay here. We ran, down the alley, around the corner, into the street. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out while we were moving. A text. Unknown number. You shouldn't have left. You shouldn't have known. I stopped running. Minseo turned back. What is it? I showed her the screen. Her face went pale. That's her, I whispered. That's Jeha. Block it, now. My hands shook as I blocked the number. We need to leave town, Minseo said. Tonight, right now. And go where? Anywhere. We can get new identities. Start over. Just disappear before she finds us. I stared at her. With what money? She hesitated, then reached into her bag, pulled out an envelope, the same one from the cafe. I cashed it, she said quietly. The check. I know I said I wouldn't, but I had a feeling we might need it. My stomach twisted. You want us to run away with the money she gave you to leave me? It's the only way. Minseo's eyes filled with tears. I know it's not perfect. I know I messed up, but please, Terry, let me fix this. Let me protect you this time. I looked at her, at the woman I'd almost married, at the tears streaming down her face. I'm so sorry, she whispered, for everything, for leaving you, for taking the money, for being weak. But I love you. I never stopped loving you, and I can't watch her hurt you the way she hurt Yura. My throat burned. Please forgive me, she said. Please. I didn't know what to say, didn't know what to think, but I was scared. And she was here. And Jeha was somewhere out there, watching, waiting. Okay, I whispered. Relief flooded her face. She pulled me into her arms, held me tight. We're going to be okay, she said into my hair. I promise. We're going to be okay. I nodded against her shoulder, tried to believe her. But as we stood there, holding each other in the middle of the street, I saw it, over her shoulder, the black SUV, turning the corner, heading straight toward us. And then I felt it, Minseo's phone, buzzing in her pocket, once, twice, 3 times, like someone was waiting for an answer. She pulled back, wiped her tears, and smiled. Let's go. But her hands weren't shaking anymore. Her voice was steady, too steady, and I realized something that made my blood run cold. She wasn't scared. She'd never been scared. The SUV got closer, and Minseo took my hand. Trust me, she said, but I didn't know if I could. I pulled my hand away. Whose messages are you getting? Minseo froze. Tairi, why aren't you scared? My voice rose. Those men are coming toward us and you're not scared. Why? Her expression flickered. Guilt, fear, something darker. It's not what you think. Then tell me what it is. The SUV pulled up beside us. Stopped. 2 men got out, tall, heavy, the kind of men who got paid to make problems disappear. One of them looked at Minseo. You have it? She swallowed hard, nodded. I stared at her. Have what? The money, the man said. His voice was flat, cold. She owes us. We're here to collect. My stomach dropped. These aren't Jeha's people, I whispered. Minseo wouldn't look at me. Who are they? People I borrowed from, she said quietly. A long time ago, before you. Before any of this. How much do you owe? She didn't answer. The second man stepped forward. Enough that she's been dodging us for 6 months. Enough that we're done waiting. I turned to Minseo. The check Jeha gave you. That was supposed to clear your debts. You said student loans. It was. Her voice cracked. At first. But I had other debts too. Ones I didn't tell you about. What kind of debts? She closed her eyes. Gambling. I was shocked. I had a problem, she continued. I thought I could fix it. I thought if I just won once, I could pay everything back and you'd never have to know. But you didn't win. No. Tears streamed down her face. I lost more. And when Jeha gave me that money, I thought maybe I could use some of it to try again. To win it back. But you lost that too. She nodded. I couldn't breathe. So you cashed the check, I said slowly. And you were going to use it to pay them, not to run away with me, to save yourself. I was going to do both. Her voice was desperate now. I was going to pay them and then we'd leave, start over. I just needed you to come with me so I wouldn't be alone. You needed me as a shield. No. You lied about Jeha. My voice shook. You made me think she was a murderer, that she was dangerous. You twisted everything so I'd be too scared to stay, so I'd run with you. The fire was real, she said quickly. Yura's death was real. You exaggerated. You made it sound like murder when it was an accident. You manipulated me, again. She reached for me. Terry, please, don't. The first man cleared his throat. We don't have time for this. Give us the money and we'll go. Minseo's hands shook as she pulled the envelope from her bag. The same one from the cafe. The one with Jaiha's check. Cashed. She held it out. The man took it, counted the bills, nodded to his partner. We're done here. They turned to leave. And then I heard it. A car door. I looked up. Jeha was standing across the street, next to her car. She must have followed me, must have been watching. Our eyes met, and something in my chest cracked. She walked toward us, calm, controlled. But there was something different in her expression, something raw. The men saw her, hesitated. Leave, she said quietly. It wasn't a request. One of them started to speak. She cut him off. You got your money, now leave. She's not your problem anymore. They looked at each other, then at her, then at the envelope in their hands. And they left, just like that. The SUV pulled away, and it was just the three of us. Minseo, Jaiha, me. Minseo turned to Jaiha. Thank you, I know you didn't have to. I didn't do it for you. Jaiha's voice was ice. I did it for her, so she wouldn't have to watch you get hurt, even though you don't deserve her concern. Minseo's face crumpled. Leave, Jaiha said. And don't contact her again. Don't call, don't text, don't show up at her apartment or her school or anywhere else. You're done. But you manipulated her twice. You don't get a third chance. Minseo looked at me, eyes pleading. I'm sorry, she whispered. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I do love you. I always have. I didn't say anything, couldn't. She waited, then nodded, and walked away. I watched her go. Watched her disappear around the corner. And then it was just Jeha and me. Are you okay? She asked quietly. I turned to look at her. You followed me. I was worried. You sent me that text, the threatening one. Her jaw tightened. That wasn't me. I would never threaten you. Then who? Minseo. She probably used a burner app. Made you think it was me so you'd be too scared to question her story. I pressed my hands to my face, tried to breathe. I know you don't trust me, Jeha said. I know what I did was unforgivable. But I need you to know the truth. Yura's death was an accident. The fire started because of faulty wiring. I tried to save her. I couldn't. And I've lived with that guilt every single day since. You still manipulated me. I did. She didn't deny it, didn't make excuses. I saw you and I saw a chance to rewrite what happened, to save someone this time. But I was wrong. You didn't need saving. You just needed to be seen. My throat burned. I don't know how to trust you, I whispered. I know. I don't know how to trust anyone right now. I know. She stepped back, gave me space. I'm not asking you to forgive me, she said. I'm not asking you to give me another chance. I'm just asking you to be okay, to take care of yourself, to choose whatever makes you happy. I looked at her, at the woman who'd claimed me, controlled me, tried to save me. And I realized something. I didn't need her to save me. I didn't need Min Seo either. I just needed me. I need to go, I said. She nodded. Where? I don't know. Somewhere that's mine. Somewhere neither of you can reach me until I'm ready. Okay. She didn't argue, didn't follow. Just stood there, watching me with those same dark eyes that had once looked at me like I was everything. I turned and walked away. From both of them. From the wreckage of my wedding. From the manipulation and the lies and the Kongji. I walked until I reached my apartment, the one I'd shared with Min Seo, the one I'd have to move out of eventually. But not today. Today, I just needed to be alone. 3 weeks later, I stood in front of my classroom. 25 second graders staring up at me with wide eyes. "Good morning, Ms. Tara," they chorused. I smiled. Good morning. And for the first time in weeks, I felt like I could breathe. My phone buzzed during lunch. A letter, delivered to the school office. I opened it. Jaeha's handwriting, "I'm sorry. For everything. I'm working on being better. On letting go of control. On learning to love without manipulation. You don't have to respond. You don't owe me anything. I just wanted you to know that you changed me. And I hope someday you can forgive me. But even if you can't, I hope you find happiness. You deserve it. Jay." I folded the letter, put it in my desk drawer, and went back to my students. I wasn't ready to forgive her, wasn't ready to forgive Min Seo, wasn't ready for anything except this, my classroom, my kids, my life, the one I was building, alone, for now. And that was enough for me. The end, she walked away from both of them. And finally, she chose herself. If this story made you feel something, the heartbreak, the manipulation, the moment she finally said enough, hit that like button. Drop a comment and tell me, did Tyri make the right choice? Could you forgive Jaeha? Would you have gone back to Min Seo? And subscribe. Because stories like this, where love gets messy, choices get complicated, and the hardest person to choose is yourself, are exactly what we're here for. Thank you for reading Tyri's story. She didn't need someone to claim her. She just needed to claim herself.